Hi, this is Donna. I'm going to talk to you about ways to reduce your budget or spending when you own or rent. So about 30% of our money goes into paying for the roof over our head and the cost to manage a house. So the number one thing we know when you have a mortgage is we can reduce our costs by refinancing. Some people are like, yeah, let's do it. Some people are like, no. So talk to a lender and see what the pros and cons of refinancing are. Now it's 2020 and next month it'll be 2021. And right now the rates are really low. And everybody's saying it, rates are low, good to buy, good to refinance. If you're in the position to possibly save money, talk to a lender. You got nothing to lose. Find out what your options are. The other thing you can do is if you have an extra room, rent the room and make some cash that way. Move to a smaller place. Now you're thinking, but I have to sell my house and I don't know if I want to sell my house. Well, if you can't afford your house and you're in the risk zone of possibly foreclosing in the near future, you want to make the effort to talk to a realtor about what your options are. A realtor not only buys and sells houses, but they can sit down with you and look at all your numbers and help you know what your options are and whether it is a good time to sell, whether you are in a good position. Make sure you talk to the right realtor, because some realtors are just like, yeah, whatever, let's sell it. And they don't care about sitting down with the numbers. So talk to a realtor, go with a realtor that you feel comfortable with. There's no obligation to sell your house if you talk to a realtor. Or you could talk to several realtors. You have options. Move further from the city, and that would also mean selling your house. Move further from the city, and we know it's cheaper depending on where you go. Obviously, you can spend $1 million in the country and you can spend the $1 million in the city. But you do know that the taxes are going to be lower. And there are other places that you can find cheaper housing as you go farther out of the city. Find a place with lower taxes. I just talked about it. Usually as you go further out of the city, depending on what city you go to, the taxes will be lower. Raise your insurance deductible. So one thing, when you raise your insurance deductible, you pay less monthly. So, but when something happens, just make sure you have that money saved for the deductible on hand. And then that kind of covers you. So if you rent, get a roommate. Now remember, when you rent and get a roommate, and you bring somebody into the house, talk to your landlord about it. And because usually there's tenant rules about bringing new people, whether they're helping you pay the rent or not. Move to a more affordable place. So if your rent is just, too high, find a more affordable place. It could be farther from the city, or you could be downsizing to a smaller square footage place. The other thing is negotiate. If you're a good renter, you always pay on time, you're responsible. At the end of the lease, if you want to renew or do it if you have 30-day notice or 60-day notice, do it then. Start to negotiate with your landlord about having a reduced monthly rent. He or she will consider it possibly if they don't want to go through the process of you going. So maybe it's kind of leverage. You got to be like, hey man, can you reduce it, or I got to move? And it doesn't hurt to talk to your landlord about that. other helpful, other ha. I got word salad. That's what my son calls it when your words don't come out of your mouth, right? Word salad. So the other thing, good idea is to save money. Just take a little portion of your paycheck, put it in the bank, put it in the savings account. Just don't look at it. Just put it in there and ignore it, and you'll have extra money when you need it. I always have like a buffer, just a small buffer. And if I want to save more, then I add more, and I have it in record of how much more I have separate to savings. So always have redundancy, have a buffer, have extra in your account, have savings in your savings account, redundancy, repetitive savings. The other thing to consider thinking about is having 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in a savings account for emergencies. Then no matter what happens, that you are covered and you have time to figure out what you're going to do and where you're going to go from there. So I hope everybody's having an awesome day. The sun is setting. I think the 21st is going to be winter solstice, right? And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.